I would be more tempted to admire the fantastic view if I wasn't on a capsized ship that was bound to sink at any moment. The window still appears to be holding under the pressure, and I am certainly not about to change that. A bust of somebody or other. I hope this is the way out. To freedom, not to eternity. The wheel is completely rusted in place. Even a gorilla couldn't turn it. The poor guy looks rather beat. I can only hope that he's fit enough so we can get off this sinking ship in time.
Oh, but where am I?
We're on a capsized ship that could sink any minute now, and you've been trapped under a massive steel girder. But I'll think of something, don't worry.
Don't worry. When should I be worried, if not now?
Good point. But I'm sure I can find a way out of this. You saved my life after all. I owe you.
Thank you, but I boarded the ship for a reason. You remember the incident at the harbor?
The man who had that fatal accident?
Exactly. He must have slipped you a letter right before it happened.
But I haven't got any letter. Besides, there are more important things we should be worrying about right now. We need to get out of here.
Why do you think such odd things happened on board? Why do you think people had to die? Trust me, this is important. I will not leave the ship without this document. You must find this letter.
A massive steel girder. The steel girder is way too heavy. I can't lift it without some kind of equipment. A picture of the ship naming ceremony. The cabinet is secured by a combination lock. The cabinet is secured by a combination lock. In order to open the drawers, I need to enter the correct number code first. 7, 4, 7, 5. I wonder whether that was the right sequence of numbers. I think that was correct. The drawer is empty, but I could at least use it as a makeshift stairway in order to reach the upper hatch. It's stuck. It's stuck. There's water on the other side. How about I leave the door closed, stay put, and the water can do the same? Seems like a fair trade. The pipe definitely looks worse for wear. There's a big hole at the top of it, and a connecting piece got ripped out below. I can still see some oil at the very bottom of the pipe itself. Looks pretty sturdy. I can't yank that out. I will place the bongo drum under the pipe with its open end up. There's already a bongo drum placed under the pipe. The middle floor broke open, and part of a steel girder fell to the ground. This is not a passage to the room above. It's only a part of the floor between the decks that broke open. There's water on the other side. It's stuck.
Did you find the letter?
No. But...
Please keep looking. We need this letter.
Oh, dang. Without this mysterious letter, he'll refuse to leave the ship, and I can't just leave him here to drown. I'm sure there is plenty of water below this hatch. It's closed, but climbing through that hatch may be our only way out. I could step on that drawer in order to reach the hatch, but before I open it, I should make sure that there's no water behind it. Otherwise, it could get rather uncomfortable down here. That sounded hollow. There seems to be no water on the other side. There isn't much left of that fancy reception area. This metal rod probably used to be a rung from a ladder. All kinds of ship's records, papers, and documents. All kinds of papers. I don't think I will find that letter here, but maybe at least this will help convince the guy who saved my life that it makes no sense to go looking for it. I found my ticket. And just like I thought, there isn't a... Oh, but there is. It's true then. The man at the harbor really did slip me a letter. But the document is full of cryptic symbols. I can't make heads or tails of it. And the enclosed drawing doesn't make much sense either. I already found my ticket. This looks bizarre. All the records it contained are scattered across the floor. I'm not going to find anything there. Water is already seeping through the crack. I can only pray that the crack doesn't get any bigger or else... I mustn't think about it. I've never been all that fond of aquariums, and that is not about to change. I don't think I can seal that. As long as this puddle doesn't get any bigger, I don't have much to worry about, apart from the fact that I am trapped in a capsized, sinking ship. Looks like it used to be a ladder. Climb up there? Forget it. From up here, I can see that the chain got wrapped around the propeller shaft of the ship's engine. No idea what its purpose was before the disaster. It's securely fastened. Tugging on that won't help.
Did you find the letter?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And now you must find a way out of here.
I will pour a little water into the pipe. All right, I've got the oil. Now for an opportunity to make good use of it. A little oil could do wonders for the rusty wheel. I can't just leave the man behind here. I've got the letter and an escape route. Now all I need to do is get you out of here.
Great. Please, hurry.
A lever for steering the ship. On the left, it says full speed ahead, and on the right, full speed backwards. At the moment, though, the lever is set to stop. Right now, the lever is set to stop. I could set it to either full speed ahead or full reverse speed. And now the other way. Nothing happened, and the lever immediately jumped back to stop. Full speed ahead. Right now, the lever is set to stop. I could set it to either full speed ahead or full reverse speed. If I use the lever now, the chain will probably just be pulled up again. Full speed ahead. Nothing happened. I have wrapped the chain around the steel girder, but there is no way to fasten it. Let's hope this will hold. I can't think of a better alternative. Right now, the lever is set to stop. And now the other way. Come on! I actually managed to find that blasted letter. So now we should get out of here as fast as we can.
What? How? All right.
We're going to have to dive a few yards. Do you think you can make it?
I will have to. It's not like I've got a choice. The cold water is bound to keep me awake for a few minutes.
Right. Let's go. That was close. Much too close.
Yes,
Are you okay?
Yes. No, not really. You wouldn't happen to have some sugar on you?
Sugar? You've got some nerve.
Diabetes. I'm hypoglycemic right now. I need glucose or a little sugar. Otherwise...
Otherwise, what?
Otherwise, I will faint again. And in a few hours, I will die.
Are you kidding? No. By the look of you, I guess you're not. Hello? He's not reacting. He's still conscious, but totally lethargic. Here I am, stuck on a beach in the middle of nowhere without a living soul in sight, and my only companion needs glucose, or some form of sugar. Where am I supposed to find that? My goodness, what a mess! My suitcase! I can't believe it got washed ashore right here and now. I mean, what are the odds? Oh, I hope there's something usable in here. A lot of the stuff in here is damp, but this still looks dry enough to wear. Everything else in here is damp. No idea what this wheel might have been used for. A dark briefcase without a handle. Let's see. A handful of worthless documents and a candy bar. The documents from the briefcase, bills and other insignificant papers. Good idea. I'm sure the sugar in this candy bar would help him, but I'm afraid he's in no condition to chew anything at the moment. I should find something for him to drink. A hat stand. A simple rake that's missing a few teeth. I hope no one expects me to tidy up this beach with it. There seem to be place names on that signpost, but I can't read them from here. I hope there's something in there that I can use to revive my unresponsive friend. Something to counter his hypoglycemia would be good. I can't reach it. I'd have to be some kind of comic book hero to get up there, or a talented rock climber. I should look for something that's easier to throw. I should look for something that's easier to throw. This is a bit too heavy to throw that far. This has seen better days. This has seen better days. I might be able to throw this bag far enough, but I don't think it would have sufficient oomph, or kinetic energy, to use a more technical expression. Heaps of small pebbles. The pebbles are much easier to carry inside this bag. And now for my attempt at a new bag throwing record. I'm a genius. A handy bucket. A handy bucket. Let's see if there's anything useful in here. Rats, no glucose, just a couple of bandages. Looks like I'll have to think of something else. There's a box near the top of the pole, probably a fuse box. There must be quite a charge on that cable. Sparks are flying from the live end, and the ground all around it looks scorched. The sea is quite calm again. The chaos on the beach and the junk floating in the filthy water are the only reminders of that disastrous flood wave. I'm glad we even made it to dry land. I've done quite enough bathing for one day. A whole crate full of life vests washed ashore here. I'll just take one of these. If I need any more, I'll know where to find them. One is quite enough for the time being. A dirty sheet of metal. A diver's spear gun, including some spears. Who would just dump a car battery in the sea? I thought this was the age of environmentalism. There are warning notices on it, flammable and corrosive. There's still some liquid at the bottom of the barrel. I can't shift it. However, I don't think I really need to anyway. I bet it contains all kinds of handy tools. Unfortunately, it's locked. A fire hose. Pretty wide, pretty long, and pretty heavy. It probably belonged to some ship. bet it contains all kinds of handy tools. I could easily get over there, but getting back might pose a problem. First, I'll try to find something to help my unconscious companion over here. I've always wanted to have a go at firing one of these. I could probably climb up to the fuse box now, but there's no way I'm using my bare hands to tinker with it. A fire hose. Pretty well. I'll just wind this hose around here. A hat stand. I could hang this bucket on the hat stand. All right, that's what I'll do then. They're not so pretty that I want to collect any more of them. A life vest with a carbon dioxide chamber. You just pull this little cord to inflate the life vest. If I bend this sheet of metal a bit and then lodge it between those teeth, there, it worked. The car battery contains a strong acid. If I pour just a little on this lock, that should do the trick. Yes, it worked. Quite an impressive selection of tools, but I don't have anything to tinker with right now. Ordinary bandages. A handy bucket. Luckily, there's a pair of insulated pliers in the toolbox. Okay, here goes. The power's off. I've turned the power off, so for the moment it's safe to go near the cable. The power's off. But what am I supposed to do with the cable? I would need some kind of charging device to recharge the battery. I'll have to be very careful with this. I really don't want to get acid on my hands. For my next adventure, I'm going to insist on a double for dangerous stunts, I swear. Now the power is back on again. I would need some kind of charging device to recharge the battery. Just holding it up to the power cable won't accomplish anything. I would need some kind of charging device to recharge the battery. Just holding it up to the power cable won't accomplish anything. Luckily. The power's off. Everything else in here is damp. Quite an impressive selection of tools. Hypoglycemia is so bad that he's totally unresponsive. If I don't do something about it pretty soon, he will probably die. If I tear up these documents, they should burn quite well. Up the pole, down the pole, up the pole, down the pole. Who am I, Tarzan? Yay, it worked. The documents are on fire. The power's off. Not a good idea. The fire might go out if I try to put it in the bucket. Let's hope this doesn't result in a high jet of flame. I don't need a bad hair day on top of everything else. Great. Now I have a lovely fire going that should burn for some time, hopefully. The bucket could easily hang over the fire, but I don't think a fried bucket would be very tasty. This metal sheet is covered in rust and totally filthy. I wouldn't put any food on there, not even if it's covered with several layers of wrappers. Sometimes I'm really quite proud of my ingenuity. A handy bucket. Let's mummify this. An expertly bandaged bucket. This metal sheet is covered in rust and totally filthy. Good idea. That way I should be able to get some reasonably clean water. I don't want to hold it over the fire. Burned skin has such a horrible smell. And putting the fire out doesn't make any sense either. I'm glad I managed to light it in the first place. I'll just pour the water into the bucket hanging from the hat stand. So, what's on the menu today? Good idea, but I'll pour away some of this water first. I'm sure I don't need that much for this little candy bar. There, that's better. Soup au chocolat. This recipe may get me my own cooking show someday. The candy bar has melted. I can take the bucket down now. It will probably still taste a bit salty, but in this case, the end justifies the means. Here, drink this. It will help.
Ah, thank you so much. I really needed that.
You're welcome. Looks like I've taken the lead in our little life-saving contest. You owe me.
Yes, you're probably right. You'll want some answers to your questions, I suppose.
Well, I've been robbed, knocked out, shot at, and nearly drowned. I'd say a few answers are the least I can expect, wouldn't you?
Right. Let's start at the beginning. First, my name is David Corell. I'm a vicar in Berlin, and I investigate sects and the dangers they pose on behalf of the church.
Pleased to meet you. Nina Kalinkov.
Very nice to meet you. So, as I said, I deal with certain associations outside of the church. Some time ago, I came across a new, very aggressive sect by the name of Puritas Cordis.
The sect of that televangelist, Pat Shelton?
Right on. Apparently, Puritas Cordis believes in the prophecies of Zandona, an obscure 17th century French prophet.
Something along the lines of Nostradamus?
Yes, But the prophecies of Nostradamus were really vague and quite open to interpretation. Zandona, on the other hand, predicted a series of very real disasters. They were supposed to happen in a specific order, culminating in the apocalypse.
Zandona. Now, where have I heard that name before?
I tried to look him up in old church archives. Not very successfully, though.
You mean there's nothing at all about Zandona?
Not much. At least not anymore. The central registers are missing several tomes of records from this period. And I didn't have much luck in other archives either. Practically all records that might have contained some information about Zandona have vanished into thin air. Then, 2 weeks ago, a centuries-old parchment surfaced in Cambridge. A letter from a nun mentioning Zandona. The very letter you're carrying right now.
Ah, so that's what these people on the ship were looking for?
I think so, yes. Anyone who possesses it is definitely in danger.
Just my luck.
The last person who had the letter before you was my colleague, Patterson. He was going to follow some clues from the letter in northern France. He was the one who slipped you the letter at the harbor. He was probably being followed, and when he noticed, he passed the letter on to you. Not a moment too soon. May the Lord have mercy on his soul.
And now I'm stuck with it.
Unfortunately, yes. I'm so sorry that you got dragged into this. I witnessed the so-called accidents at the harbor. I realized he must have given someone the letter, so I boarded the ship in his place. I wanted to make sure the letter didn't fall into the wrong hands, and that its new owner was safe.
People are being murdered for an old letter? Could its contents really be that important?
Ashford, England, Anno Domini 1681. Now that my grey life is moving towards its equally grey closure, I can finally muster the courage to write down what I saw. My hands are still shaking today when I think of all the poor souls of Gatineau. I will never forget them. Screaming women, burning houses, crying children. A flaming inferno. Just like he predicted. Just like every single one of the disasters he foretold. This Zandona. He may be a man of faith. He may be a prophet. But is he also a man of God? There is no sense in musing about that now. I have failed. The key lay within my hands. The key that could have halted all the looming disasters and changed the course of events. The burning mountains, the great flood, the apocalypse. Perhaps it was up to me to prevent them. But my faith was weak. All those years, the key lay well hidden within the ruins of Gatineau. And the saint who showed me the way appeared to me in a dream every night. But my fear was too great, and I never returned there. I have failed. And therefore, all I have left is hope. The hope that those brothers and sisters who follow may not succumb to the phantoms of fear, doubt, and weakness, as I did. The hope that they may boldly take the only path that is still open, strong in faith and fearless in action. I pray to God that it might be thus. Otherwise, the last of the prophecies will come true as well, and our fates will be sealed. May the Lord be with you. May you find the strength to take the key and try to stem the tide of Zandona's prophecies. Forgive me, Sister Elise.
That doesn't sound good.
Not good? Sister Elise basically announced that the apocalypse is almost upon us.
Oh, come on. That seems a bit exaggerated.
Have you already forgotten the flood wave then?
How could I?
See? And what did the letter say? It mentioned a flood wave, didn't it?
That could be a coincidence.
And by mere coincidence, some people are leaving dead bodies in their wake just to get their hands on this letter? And by mere coincidence, during these last few weeks, a major part of the very disasters that Zandona foretold happened one after the other, in the exact order of the prophecy.
Which is...
First pestilence and disease, just like the epidemic in Western Africa that still has millions of people living as fugitives.
So you think that was the first harbinger? What next?
Next, the punishment of the greedy.
The burning oil fields in the Middle East leading up to a severe economic crisis?
Probably, and then a war.
There are plenty of those to choose from. But the most gruesome is probably the Civil War in South America, triggered by the collapse of the financial system.
Earthquake.
Japan.
Burning mountains.
The volcanic eruptions in Southeast Asia.
Followed by a flood.
Which we've seen for ourselves. You're beginning to scare me.
I am sorry, but this is what Zandona's prophecy says. And it is also what the Puritas Cordis sect is preaching. I have no idea what the key might be that Sister Elise mentions in her letter, but she seems to think that the prophecies can be stopped by using this key.
How can anyone stop a prophecy?
Beats me, but I know this much. If there is even the slightest possibility that all those disasters may actually be followed by the apocalypse, we have a real problem on our hands. And if there is even a remote possibility of stopping the apocalypse, or at least taking some appropriate preventive measures, then we should definitely make use of it.
Okay, you're right. I can't and won't really believe that a bunch of old prophecies are about to come true. But looking down from a cloud afterwards and saying, if only I had, doesn't seem too tempting either. What do you suggest?
We need to go to Gatineau.
Where exactly is that?
The place vanished from the history books centuries ago. But a few years ago, they discovered the ruins of a small town that they think is Gatineau. And if there is anything left to find there, we must do so before anyone else does. Before it's too late.
Then we should head there immediately. There's another section of beach over that way. Maybe we'll find something there that will help us get away from here. I'm going to need your help, though. It's a rather steep descent.
That should be all right. I'm still feeling sort of shaky, but I guess I'll be up to lending you a hand for a little climb. When you want to come back, just let me know. I'll help you get up here then.
Great. I'm going to take a look around.
You do that. Maybe you can somehow fix the boat over there. And it would be good to know where on earth we are.
This was obviously washed ashore here. I wonder what laws of the sea apply here. The suitcase is locked. This was probably attached to the motorcycle. It looks a bit tattered, but you never know. There might still be something usable inside. A map. It looks about as tattered as the tank bag, but I guess that was to be expected. A map of northern France. Now, if I could just figure out where I am, this could actually prove useful. Too bad it's been wrecked. It probably got washed away by the flood wave. It must have been a fine machine. But now it's just scrap metal, except for the engine. I can't make any use of it in this state. Without a front wheel, the motorcycle is resting on the ground. There's no way I can push it through the soft sand like this. I've fixed plenty of motorcycles before, but this is a bit different. I wonder if this landslide was caused by the flood wave. A packing slip. Looks like someone ordered a load of truck alternators. Any hope of their delivery seems to have been well and truly shattered. The cardboard is totally soaked. I can't make any use of it. I'll never be able to move the entire landslide, but I'll just dig near these scraps of packaging. Maybe the contents are still around here too. A fan blade from a truck's alternator. Looks like my digging has actually turned up something useful. It still looks quite sound. At least I can't see any holes in it. No sail, no engine, no oars. We wouldn't get far in this. I might actually be able to use the fan blade as a propeller. But first I would have to turn this rowboat into a motorboat. A wise man once said, "If the boat will not come to the motorcycle will go to the boat." I might actually be able to use the fan blade . A brief introduction into the use of motorcycles. They are vehicles used for land travel. Land travel, not water travel. Too bad it's been wrecked. It probably got washed away by the flood wave. Yes, that might do the trick. I'll remove this engine and attach it to the boat. Off to work. A perfect fit. A fan blade as a makeshift propeller? Why not? Because the propeller needs to be submerged and therefore underneath the boat, that's why. I don't suppose there's a hydraulic lift nearby. Yes, I could use the shovel as a paddle when we leave here, but I'll keep it for now just in case I need it for something else. Great idea. I can use that to lift the boat. I'll go get some more of those life vests. Now it looks like a hovercraft. A nearly perfect makeshift propeller. My training as a motorcycle mechanic has proved useful once again. Now that I've removed the engine, it looks even more pathetic. A little acid from the battery should work wonders. What have we got here? This suit doesn't look too bad. And there's a digital camera here, too. I should make a habit of looting stranded suitcases. There is nothing usable left inside. This looks decent enough. A state-of-the-art digital camera. I could probably watch bacteria grow with this. It looks ready to go. If the vicar has no objections, we can get moving now. How are you doing?
I'm still feeling rather weak, but I'll be all right.
So I'm supposed to find out where we are?
Yes, we need to get to Gatineau as fast as possible. But as long as we don't know where we are, we also won't know in what direction we need to go.
That makes sense. The boat is ready for use.
You really managed to fix it?
Yes, and we won't even have to row.
Hey, I'm impressed. You're amazingly resourceful. Good work.
Thanks. I had better get back to working on the rest of our problems.
Oh, I would really love to help you, but...
It's all right. You're already helping me by providing a way to move from one side of the beach to the other. The camera's optical and digital zoom functions are really handy. I can even read the place names from that signpost on the camera's display. There seem to be place names on that signpost, but I can't read them from here. Thanks to the digital zoom, I can even see the place names in this picture of the signpost. They don't mean much to me, though. The map shows the same towns I saw written on the signpost, including Gatineau, the place David Carell spoke of. It's a bit more than a stone's throw away, but easy enough to find. We just have to follow the Seine upstream. How are you doing?
I'm still feeling rather weak, but I'll be all right.
I fixed the boat, and we know roughly where we are and where we're headed. We should leave now.
Yes, but I still need some dry clothes. I won't make it long in this wet stuff I'm wearing.
That's true. I'll see what I can find for you.
That would be nice.
I had better get back to working on the rest of our problems.
Oh, I would really love to help you.
It's all right. Look, I found you some nice dry clothes. Well, nice might be stretching it a bit, but at least they are dry.
The way you are fussing over me, you would make a great nun.
That's a bit of an overstatement. You'd better get changed. I won't look, I promise.
This is much better.
How are you doing? I think we have everything we need now. Our current location, a map to get us to our destination, a more or less intact boat, and dry clothes.
Yes, I think we can head for Gatineau now.
Let's hope we find the clues we're looking for there.
I certainly hope so, too.
It's pretty dark in here. I can't see a thing, but at least I'm inside the temple, which means I'm closer to rescuing Sam.